This creature, Heterocephalus glaber, lives in a world that should kill it. Deep underground in the Horn of Africa, it thrives in crowded, oxygen-starved tunnels where carbon dioxide levels are toxic. Its skin is loose and seemingly fragile, its eyes are nearly useless, and it maintains a cold-blooded body temperature, almost unheard of for a mammal. Yet this strange, wrinkled rodent holds biological secrets that defy some of the most fundamental rules of life, including the inevitability of cancer, the experience of certain pains, and even the typical process of aging itself. It looks like a failure of evolution, but it might be one of its greatest successes. One of its most profound abilities is a near-total immunity to cancer. For decades, not a single spontaneous tumor was observed. The reason isn't a magical kill switch, but something more like a hyper-vigilant security system woven into the very fabric of its body. It all comes down to a substance called hyaluronin, or HA. You have it too. It lubricates your joints and gives skin its elasticity. But the mole rat's version is different. It produces a form of high molecular mass hyaluronin, HMHA, that is exceptionally large and dense, creating a thick, gummy extracellular matrix around its cells. When a cell begins to divide uncontrollably, the first sign of cancer, it immediately gets gummed up and physically crowded by this dense network, triggering a signal that forces it to stop. This phenomenon, called early contact inhibition, snuffs out potential tumors before they can even begin. This abundance of protective goo isn't an accident. It's the result of a unique genetic setup. The gene responsible for producing HA, known as HAS2, is largely the same as ours. However, the naked mole rat has subtle differences in this gene and a significantly reduced activity of the enzymes that break HA down. The result is a system that builds this massive protective molecule and then is incredibly slow to clean it up. This leads to an accumulation of HMMHA in its tissues that is 5 times greater than in humans. It's a case of inefficient recycling creating a superior biological defense. The very thing that might be considered a flaw in another context is the cornerstone of its cancer resistance, turning its body into a fortress at the microscopic level. This cellular insensitivity to its surroundings is strangely mirrored in its sensory experience of the world, specifically its perception of pain. If you were to touch the skin of a naked mole rat with a droplet of acid, it wouldn't react. This isn't because its skin is tough, it's because the message of that specific type of pain never reaches its brain. The culprit is a missing neuropeptide called substance P. In most mammals, when skin is exposed to inflammatory irritants like acid or capsaicin, the chemical that makes chili peppers hot, nerve endings release substance P. This molecule is the essential first messenger that screams burning pain to the spinal cord and brain. Naked mole rats simply don't have substance P in the nerve fibers of their skin. The initial alarm system is turned off. Why evolve such a specific and dangerous-sounding trait? The answer lies back in their suffocating burrows. With dozens of bodies packed into tight tunnels with poor ventilation, the atmospheric carbon dioxide levels can skyrocket to concentrations that would be lethal for humans. When CO2 comes into contact with moist surfaces, like eyes or mucous membranes, it reacts with water to form carbonic acid. For any other animal, living in this environment would mean constant, agonizing acid burns on every wet surface of its body. It would be torture. By deleting the substance P pain pathway, the naked mole rat turned off this source of chronic agony, making its extreme environment not just tolerable, but comfortable. It traded a specific pain for a world of its own. Defying cancer and pain is remarkable, but the naked mole rat's greatest trick might be how it treats time. For a rodent of its size, it should live for maybe 3 to 5 years. Instead, they hold the record for the longest living rodent, with a confirmed lifespan of over 32 years, and they show minimal signs of aging throughout. They don't get arthritis, their cardiovascular health doesn't decline, and their metabolic rate stays stable. A key reason for this is their astonishingly stable proteome. Proteins are the machinery of your cells, and with age, they tend to misfold, clump together, and stop working correctly. In naked mole rats, proteins are built with higher fidelity and are exceptionally resistant to unfolding and damage, meaning their cellular machinery simply doesn't break down at the same rate. This internal cellular tidiness is maintained by incredibly efficient quality control systems. Their cells possess highly active proteasomes, which are like molecular recycling centers. These proteasomes are experts at seeking out and destroying any damaged or misfolded proteins, preventing the buildup of cellular junk that contributes to aging. This strict internal order is perfectly mirrored in their external social order. They are one of only 2 known eusocial mammals, living in colonies that function like a single superorganism, much like ants or bees. At the top is a single dominant queen. She is the only female that reproduces. The rest of the colony is divided into castes of sterile workers who spend their lives digging tunnels, finding food, and caring for the queen's young. The queen herself is a biological paradox. While most mammals experience a decline in fertility with age, the naked mole rat queen remains fertile for her entire decades-long life, producing litter after litter. She also defies osteoporosis. Despite the immense calcium demands of near-constant pregnancy and lactation, her spinal column doesn't weaken, but can actually grow longer. Her rule is absolute, maintained through behavior and pheromones that reproductively suppress all other females in the colony. However, this suppression is reversible. If the queen dies, a violent power struggle ensues among the larger females. Their bodies undergo a rapid transformation. They become fertile and fight to become the next queen, demonstrating a plasticity that is as remarkable as their longevity. So, what can this strange, cold-blooded, cancer-immune, pain-resistant, eusocial, long-lived creature teach us? Everything. Scientists are not trying to turn humans into naked mole rats. Instead, they are studying these biological masterstrokes to find ways to enhance our own health. Could we develop therapies that mimic the effects of their humha to prevent tumors? Could we boost our own proteasome activity to clear out the cellular damage that causes Alzheimer's or Parkinson's? The naked mole rat provides a living blueprint for how to resist the pathologies that we so often see as inevitable. It shows us that the rules of biology are more flexible than we thought, and that sometimes the strangest creatures hold the most important answers.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.